look at things. You should always be trying to like play your best, play peak performance, and come what may be on that. So we'll see what they're able to do. NIP will be on the T side of this pistol round. Vilga deploying some grenades. Let's see what they have to offer. Big then. Dust 2 back from the dead. Oh, the HE. Nice. I like what we're seeing here. So they've made their way through the mid doors. Jenny's been smoked off, going fishing for a time. Giuliano's pushing B in the meantime, trying to stop this split from happening. I love the urgency. Letty steals the kill though. And now we've got a standoff. Vilga holding things down in that CT spawn position while the bomb is planted on the bomb site. She will be eliminated by Zana. So we've got a 5-on-3 retake. This retake is going very quickly indeed. Ramsey and Kiara are the last two remaining, and they've got so much to do. They are getting the frags though. Suddenly, hold on a second. Oh, almost all of them. Racked a few up there. That was getting scary for a while, but too many girls on road for Big, who will take the pistol round.
Yeah, impressive anchoring from Ramzan, but unfortunately just not quite enough. The aggression from Big was great, having quite a few players pushing out, getting that space, Giuliano pushing straight out of B. And I'm really glad you mentioned Giuliano, because I think that we spend a lot of time talking about Vilga, us, the desk, everyone. Like, we're big fans of Vilga here, but much in the same vein as Zaz for many reasons. Giuliano is also a name that has to always be up there, has to be a name that you're mentioning, because she's also one of the veterans of Counter-Strike. She's been around for so long, and now, you know, she's helped bring another team up to a final here because she competed in Season 5 as well, and it didn't quite go the way that they'd wanted. Now back with a little bit of a vengeance, so we'll see if they can change things around. Already off to a good start.
Oh, that's a meaty grenade flying through, but they will still deliver the frags. What do you do now then? You want the pistol round, the force buy takes the B bomb site on Dust 2 of all places. And that often means giving up on the rest of the round. It is a difficult approach to retaking the scenario such as this. So we've got some early problems for Big. But hey, sometimes it be like that. The HE wasn't enough to stop that push from coming through. And you've got to cut your losses and move on. So Vilga and co will get on the scoreboard very quickly indeed. And this is one of the things I enjoyed with Vilga on Enigma Galaxy, and I'm sure we'll see today as well, is just she always has that spatial awareness. She always has that timing as well. I mean, when things are relatively even in a mid to late round, she knows how to be the difference maker, when to be the difference maker, and when and where to find those edges, as you see her trying to exploit the saving CTs on this occasion as well. And that's a massive asset to bring to the team. She's a natural leader in terms of a captain for a squad, her personality and so on. Obviously, she brings all that wisdom with her as well. And that's clearly been quite good for NIP, as they mentioned, along with their coach, NATO Safix. I think he generated his nickname from Xbox Live or something like that. But he is proving to be a positive coach for the squad, so... Yeah, I'm excited to see what they can do. I'm not going to talk about NIP for the whole game, but I need to get this out of my system that I think it's great that they've made it to these finals as a squad, especially after narrow misses here and there in the past.
But I think that round in particular is also just a great example, because I think that when something like an HE or a Molotov or something comes off to try and stem the tide, it becomes really easy to want to say, ooh, back out, back out, back out. But instead, you have them going push forward, take the space. And you've had almost a complete economic reset. Big, obviously, they do the smart thing and they decide not to try to re-aggress. The B site can be so difficult to retake, even with a weapon advantage. So rather hold on to the guns that they have. So good call made there, but well done to Ninjas in Pajamas for being able to recognize that the right thing to do there is to just keep pushing, take that space. You know that you're at a disadvantage, so if you win this round, you're getting something that you weren't expecting to get. So rather just be a little bit more explosive with it. Works out nicely, and that's gonna cause a little bit of dissension, I think, just in terms of, you know, what do Big do now? So again, with that save in the previous round, they still come through with a nice little loadout here, so they're not feeling the full force of the reset.
Take off the tunnels by NIP. Just quietly making their way through double doors. No flash or anything. I was looking at the radar for a second to see who might flash them in. Jenny Ho with the pre-fire around the corner manages to get something from it and show some presence as well. And Zana is picking up the slack also. This is a good round for Big so far. Good urgency, taking control of the round, and now NIP are suddenly on the back foot. Took some good presence, maybe trying to pull rotation with that play through mid doors, but Big were having none of it. And they're in a reasonable position to have a defense there. Looking to target Kiara, who with the MAC-10, I mean, how much can she really do from this position now? They've got good range if they play from the ramp. She fires shots, they know what weapons she has, but she still manages to take one down. So maybe there's a chance for what remains of NIP. Ramsey looking the right way with that AK-47 as that bomb is planted. And now we're down to the 2v2. Nades towards short, they know one's towards long, and somehow NIP are holding on to this. Jenny with the MAC-10, she has a kit as well, resetting the situation. It's gonna be a long walk to make it back to that bomb site. Unless she hops up the boxes. Oh, she's found one for free now. Where is the last one? Looking for aim, hiding behind the boxes, bit of a shoulder show, and she lands the headshot. That is a strong hold from NIP. They had a few problems in that round, but they had the temerity to deal with it.
Yeah, great recovery, all things considered. I think that a lot of the approaches so far have been a little bit well read from Big, but I think what really speaks volumes is the fact that they're able to restabilize so well and maintain some of that control, which is such an important factor to have. So if they can allow that to keep going into these next few rounds, they did lose that first, but they've managed to bring things back into their control. AWP in Ramsen's hands. Ooh, missed shot, however, but now they know it's just a stampede up mid.
Yeah, this is fine for NIP, not because they haven't lost a player yet, but they seem to be handling it confidently. And I like these challenges being thrown at them as a team who are newly at LAN together. To have these difficult tests, these pressure tests, I think is good for the squad. I think psychologically, 2 rounds ago now, I think that was an important round for NIP to survive and come back in early for players with young careers in the squad around Vilga. That is great to see. Dealing with this as well. Good tests early on, but there's a whole game to play yet.
And now, of course, Big are going to have a little bit of cash to work with. So there you go. AWP in hand from Zana as well. We'll see if they can deny some of that space. Realistically, this is the first opportunity that they're going to have to bring things back into their control. And if they can do that, they can completely turn the tides. I mean, Naomi is only on a MAC-10 at the moment. You know, you got a FAMAS in there, so money is still not in the best position for Ninjas in Pajamas. So this is a great opportunity for Big to retake that control. That's
the pop flash I was looking for earlier when they just had 3 girls go through the doors. No warning whatsoever. Maybe more risk in that specific round. Big seem comfortable defending from these positions. They've got some kind of crossfire. Juliana looking to make a play through. And again, NIP, I mean, this is standard stuff for Dust too. Go through mid, try and pull the CTs out of position and go for an A play with less defenders. But Big have been able to keep their presence there time and again. And now Juliana is able to rotate, catch a nice headshot while Zana's playing from that car position. So the defaults for NIP aren't getting the desired results. I mean, earlier, it was a much earlier round where they got 1 kill, but there were 2 people essentially playing those mid doors, so they get the info Big. Don't rotate off the A bomb side. Working well for them so far in round 5.
There you go. There's the recovery. That was the round that it needed to happen in. And again, I mean, we talk about how pistol rounds can create this crazy momentum flow for a lot of teams. If you win that, you can force in, you got a whole lot of cash. And obviously, Ninjas Pajamas, they kind of upset that flow and turn things back in their favor. It took Big a little bit of time to build into the economy. Now with guns in their hands, we start to see their true kind of potential, their true power. So you can never really count a team out so early on in the map. Now the question for NIP becomes, well, what do we do from here? Because it feels like a lot of their rounds have looked very similar in approach. And if that obviously continues, then Big will have a really easy read for the rest of this half. So we need to start seeing some more adaptations, some more like interesting changes in approach, and hopefully Hopefully Ninja Pajamas can bring things back. I say hopefully. I'm not biased. I mean, I'm a little biased, but I'm not biased.
You could construct a similar round. The question is how you pivot on it later. If we look at the information that NIP are being served in mid, they keep getting re-peeked towards the B side of CT spawn, but we'll get back onto that a bit later on because they're looking to commit to a fight here on long and establish control of this. Maybe waiting for the smoke to go before the molly comes towards the car position. So while the utility is thrown back and forth there, if they look at the info they're being served in a mid position, they may be able to construct the same round with the mollies and such towards that short position. They can see that Giuliano's often playing a committed position in CT spawn, so it might make sense for them to punish that. If they can pick the person playing outside B and then go for a B split instead, they're probably going to have a huge numbers advantage in that regard. And I think that's going to be the cat and mouse game. If the CTs continue to respond in the same way and they can pick up on that, then that might be something to punish later. But as we often see on Dust 2, a take of long will slow things down. And Big are going to be fully committing to this A bomb site. They keep making the correct reads. They're doing it once more here as well. Still some good util for NIP, but they might be in for a nasty surprise with these positions from Big. They're getting lit up like a Christmas tree, but no frags for Big. They get wiped out regardless. Some tagging, but not doing the whole job. Leaves NIP at 4 rounds to 2.
Some great ducking and diving there as well. I mean, Big knew where those NIP players were, spamming through the smoke, realizing that they're crossing, trying to cut them off, cutting through the site. But like I said, duck and dive, hide behind the walls, use that cover to your advantage, and suddenly every player on Big EQUIPA is wiped off the board, and it's yet another round for Ninjas in Pajamas. And suddenly, after Big EQUIPA snatch a round away, things just turn on their heads again, back down onto pistols. They're just not finding the momentum that they're hoping to get.
Yeah, they're broke, man. They got no money to open cases right now. T's moving into that B bomb site then. Looking like it'll be a nice clean round for NIP. You want to think about a secure exit as well. Before they updated the bomb blast, the default plant, you could stand by car and you would survive the bomb blast if you had, well, I want to say more than 60 HP. I made a video of all the nerdy stuff. Of course, that's changed now. So they'll have to go a little further, and Big will be looking for that. So we'll see. Oh, no. You don't. That's the AWP. All right, go the other way. Maybe they'll get something from it. This is good for Big because they won't win the round, but all these frags just reduce the pressure a little as the game continues. So that's a good eventuality for them. That's really good indeed. Look how much money the T's are going to have to spend. If Big win the next round, that's almost an immediate eco for NIP. So that's huge damage.
Amy was trying to save the AWP there, and she ends up dying to the bomb anyway. So yeah, 4 players dying in that round. It's like you said, it's great from Big for them to all kind of deathball together, push in, cut off any sort of an attempt at an exit, and really whittle away at that cash as much as possible. But it hasn't done anything short term. Long term, it will have the effect, but for right now, NIP still come in with a full, robust buy. And for Big, they're still on that knife's edge. They still have to win a round and turn it into momentum.
Look at this play. I love rounds like this. You basically have full expectation to have a player on that B bomb site, so you give yourself an extra player by just putting a smoke up and charging up mid. In the meantime, though, the HE into the smoke for the information play allows NIP to take the bomb site, but can they expect these CT positions? They're all over the shop. The flank is here immediately. Naomi and Kiara find themselves in a 2 versus 4. Lots for them to do now. I was going to say maybe there's some like telepathy or something, but not on this occasion as Naomi finds herself in the clutch. She's got time though. If she can keep these fights isolated, there are flashes for these CTs as well. So she must be careful. They're giving her horrible angles. Oh, tagged as well, 43 HP. Oh, that was close. But it will be success for Big. No bomb plant either for NIP, so they may eke out a rifle here or there, but I don't think they're going to have enough for a full buy.
It kind of feels like NIP are trying to abuse the nature of the B site and that it is very difficult to retake. And Big have read into that. And they've just gone, okay, well, instead of playing it super weak side and then attempting to try to retake in onto that, we're going to take as much map space as we possibly can and encircle before they really have a chance to get comfortable, to get into any sort of a post-plant scenario. And it works out perfectly for them. They're still playing a little bit weak side B, but they're quick. And being quick gives them the opportunity to return fire.
Oh, all right then. Naomi going through, and they'll try to trade that frag, and they will be successful. A 3v3, minute 30. That's a great situation for NIP. I was thinking with the util they had, maybe that was a round to go for a B split through mid, but doesn't even get that far. 2 frags through long. Obviously, at this situation, Big have to hold on to this short position. But how far do they roam now? They are devoid of information. Ramsey looking for a player lurking. The tag won't be enough though, but maybe Vilga can take revenge. Indeed she can, so the scenario becomes worse for Big. NIP don't know where these CTs are, but they do know where they aren't, and that's inside the B bomb site. Who knows if there's a lurker outside though? AIM doesn't quite yet, but that bomb is going to be rotating over. Where Giuliano and Vilga were on the radar, Giuliano was almost close enough to hear running if Vilga was running the way the sound works now in CS2, but wasn't quite close enough. So she makes a play towards A, does Giuliano. Meanwhile, the bomb will get planted on B. There is a kit for Giuliano, 2v2. Surely they're going to go for this one. Flashbang for Jenny R as well. Do you send one in? Do you go together? Very difficult scenario. That's a good HE though. That's a very good HE indeed. Suddenly Jenny R's M4 is an AK. If she can reach it, she won't because she's the first one to drop. Giuliano now between a rock and a hard place, trying to find a 1v1, gets there. Can she? Just as she looks away. Look at that peek from Vilga. How many people are even peeking there? Wonderful stuff.
Yeah, ice in the veins there, holding into that position, even as the HE comes out and chunks away so much of her health. And then they don't check there. They're like, okay, well, we've kind of cleared it. Not really, but hopefully we've cleared it enough so it doesn't get checked. And a great crossfire gets set up as well. And like you said, Giuliano had so few options there. Gets that first. And there was a world, I feel like, where she could have gotten that second as well. But again, that split-second decision just doesn't really go in her favor. So that's another one that NIP pull under the belt. And while we're in a little bit of a anti-eco here, I just want to remind everyone, like, NIP are heavily T-side favored on this map. So this should come as no surprise that they're having quite a strong effect here in this first half. The real question is going to be what happens in the second.
See if Big can squeeze any more rounds out of this half in that regard. Going fishing once again with the pistols. AIM with 10 frags on the NIP side at present. Notable for baked beans for breakfast if you look at NIP or Vilga's Instagram. Got some quite amusing videos on there. Susanna's found herself an M4 and she will not escape with it. 7 rounds for Ninjas in Pajamas. Swedish organization is shining at the moment.
I like what Vilga did in that round as well. They knew that in the last anti-eco, Big went for some crazy shenanigans to try and shut things down. And okay, Vilga does end up losing her life in that, but it's information given over. She stalls them out for quite a long time, so it allows the rest of her team and gives them that information that, okay, you need to be careful that there are going to be a few pistols waiting for you, so they're prepared for that. And it does end up being not nearly as expensive as what we had seen a few rounds back. So NIP feeling very comfortable right now. And as much as I spoke about them being so heavily T-side favored, you know, Mac on the desk was saying that it's a similar situation for Big as well. But here's the catch though, if you only go into the second half with 3 rounds, as good as your T-side is, you're still in a seriously dangerous spot. So we really need to see at least, I mean, there's only 2 rounds left, right? Big kind of need them in the back pocket just to give themselves some room to breathe in the next.
Out they go into that long position. We've got some late reinforcements, which will come too late for NIP. Scenario is good for Big then. Cheeky late peek from Ramsey will have a good result. 2v3 is doable for NIP, and again, Big are let loose. They do like a play up towards top mid, and I feel like Ramsey's days are surely numbered. How could she possibly see this coming? Well, nothing else to look at, as there is a smoke in front of her. Look at the timing of that HE though. The bait is real. Very deliberate timing there of that grenade, and it works wonderfully. Naomi, when a 1v3 made 2, almost cost her all her HP though, 18 remaining. There comes the flash, and that will be enough. An important round for Big. A 4th round, I think, is a big swing for them. That's essential to have in this first half.
Yeah, I mean, 9-3 is doable at a stretch. 8-4, you're feeling that little bit more comfortable. Now you're pushing for the 7-5, which gives you a lot more room to work with, a little bit of room to breathe as well. We'll see if they can confirm this one. And given how expensive so many of these rounds have been, I'm very interested to see what NIP's buy is going to look like. And yeah, it's not great by any measure. So realistically, Big should be walking away with this round.
Oh, they're not going to be expecting this quick play up short. Who could expect that? Normally it's all the util and so on, but it is just a W key for NIP straight over towards the A-bomb site, and the remaining CTs are out of position. Letty and Jenny are in very awkward spots. Shock and awe from NIP. And now it is Letty, 1 versus 3. Being forced back by Ninjas in Pajamas, who won an extended lead at halftime. She has a kit, she has an AK. Capable of those headshots. The utility just keeps coming though. We might even see a molly from aim if things continue. Nothing much for her to do. A frustrating round for Letty towards the end of the first half. If she can make it out of the smoke.
Oh no.
Lost next to her box, and there's the headshot she did in 1. Vilga finishes off the half, 8-4 for NIP.
Tell me to be anything we could dream of. Close my eyes and count up to 3. I wanna be so free, free as a bird, free as a play, free like a Superman. I wanna be Superman. Can I be Superman? Superman. I wanna be free. Someone that you want me to be. Maybe have superpowers. Your bullets couldn't penetrate me. Yeah, I could do anything, anywhere, all over the world. Anyone I could dream of. Spread my wings and give it a whirl. I wanna be so free, so free, free as a bird, free as a bird, free as a play. Yeah, I wanna be so free, free as a bird, free as a plane, free like Superman. I wanna be Superman. Can I be Superman?
Live from DreamHack in Stockholm, the carnage continues. A strong first half on Dust 2 for NIP Impact, but perhaps Big One enough round to give themselves a fighting chance as we go into our second pistol. Big EQUIPA on that T side then. Some jump peaks to keep the CTs honest, who are making a play down short. Getting into position, waiting for these Ts to make their move and maybe catch them by surprise. The Julies are out. Vilga's on short as well. She'll be the point lady. And Big will take their time. Smoke towards the mid doors as they approach their short position. There's flashes for Letty, but there's flashes for the CTs as well. A frag for either side as these Julies get to work. Ramsey might be going back for more. Nope, gonna quietly fall back. Happy with that. Repositioning, choosing where they will take their fight, giving sound cues off her, but Kiara was maybe going to play off of that, but she's got to face Long at the same time now. Good tagging onto Giuliano. That's a great snap onto Paulie as well. Kiara running out of bullets on the last one, leaving Letty in a 1 versus 3. Every second that ticks means more CTs closer on her position, trying to use these boxes to do what she can. But that was a great defense of the A bomb site. Those USPs were putting in work.
Yeah, I mean, Ramsden and Vilga working together on short, getting 2 kills there. Ramsden falling back. Great call there. I think there's a lot of temptation to stick around to try and go for more, but instead she allows her team to kind of back her up. Kiara as well, fighting from long, and Giuliano just would not die, but eventually she manages to win out that duel, and yeah, beautiful little snap there. Couldn't quite get the third because she runs out of bullets, but ultimately NIP win a pistol round that Big would have desperately wanted and deny a bomb plant altogether. So now Big are in some serious trouble.
Tech9s are out, but again, this is a larger feeling, more open map. How do you close the distance to get these Tech9s to work? That is an important frag. Vilga getting dropped early as the charge comes in, and now there's chaos because they're coming from all kinds of directions, and AIM has got a lot to do here. What a great headshot though. They were coming from 3-4 different angles, so credit to getting that far, and the lurker has been eliminated. 2 on 2 now, Famas and the MP9. It looks like Big might not be waiting around. Jenny are going to have a look, and that smoke will definitely buy them some time. There's flashes for either side. I don't expect the Ts to be pulling one up anytime soon. The angles are much more important. There's Ramsey. Finds a 1v1, but doesn't get it done. That is a huge round for Big to win.
That's outrageous, because that's the second economic reset in this game. But the first time around, it was Big that won the pistol and NIP that won that second round. Now we have the complete opposite, where Big are like, okay, anything you can do, we can do too. Which could end up being quite dangerous for NIP here, because they do lose all of their players. Remember, in the first half, Big were able to hold on to, I believe, 2 or 3 of their guns, so they came into that next round with a lot to play with. NIP, on the other hand, no saves, so instead they buy into the 1 M4 for a little bit of power, and they lose it right off the bat.
.57 at this range is devastating. But then so are flashbangs. They could throw a molly through the door just like that. A classic trope from Dust 2. But Vilga still finds the space to stay alive for the time being. For the time being. Now she's got Kiara on the way. But I think it's around where they need a stroke of luck, and that doesn't seem to be coming. So Big find momentum early in the second half of Dust 2. And now maybe we can really see what they can do. Naomi looking for a highlight, just the 1 frag for her. So yeah, it feels like the story in that first half was all NIP, and it's been said by many that the T side will be the focus for this Dust 2. And it certainly is at the beginning of the second half.
Yeah, we did talk about the T-sided stats for both of these 2 teams and how there was quite an obvious lean. And I think for Big, while they lost that pistol round, the economic reset, I almost want to say it's better than if they'd won that pistol, because it's really stagnated NIP and made it that much more difficult for them to start to build any sort of economy for themselves. On the flip side, Big are able to really start pulling that cash in, raking it up, NIP back-to-back pistol rounds here, and Big hot on their heels. A win here puts them at only a 2-round deficit. So this has actually worked out beautifully in their favor.
Yeah, we definitely have a real game on our hands now. Giuliano with 13 frags, leading for her team. AIM's got 15. But it's always good to see the people who come in with the name value delivering. Because I remember a long time ago, in NA especially, there was a long period of name value going... Actually, hold on, never mind that. This is a winnable round for AIM. Look at the HP on these players. 1 versus 3, but everybody's been tagged up. Everybody's took a dart in the leg for Big. And even just going fishing like this, you have to wonder, if she's got nothing to lose, this will be a fascinating round to watch.
Ooh.
All the utility she needs, though, is with the hands of the T's. No defuse kit for AIM. So maybe she holds on to a rifle.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, like in general NACS ages ago, there was always that recycling of names where the newer players couldn't really break through. And when you've got a name like Giuliano that carries such weight, you need to be able to deliver as well. And she's certainly doing that so far for Big. And it's critical that she does, because again, this momentum needs to continue. Needs to keep pushing to that 9-figure and tie the score. When the urgency's high, when the pressure's on Nip, will be interesting to see what they do in response. But first comes round 17.
I mean, I think a great example of veteran talent that aren't quite getting the results they want is Karma in North America. You've got players like Emily, Rain, quite a few of them that have come back. And, well, it's the Giulianos and the Zazzas that continue to put up those big numbers. And now, as predicted, only a 2-round deficit. Big have still got AWP in hand. I'm waiting to see some cheeky plays here from Zana. So far, it's been a little bit quiet. It's really been that Giuliano show. But I love the oppressive utility being used here, just to force Big to really slow down and rethink things. Do they push again? Do they decide to move off, push somewhere else? But no, looks like they will commit to this A.
Will this setup work out? Kiara's got such a good angle. She's lost her teammate, but they will be dragging Ramsey in for help as well. And with her also lost, it is alarm bells for NIP. All hands on deck. That flash maybe comes just a little late, and Naomi is so blind. AIM in a 1 versus 4 then, given the short straw on the rotation. So the wheels keep turning for Big. And you have to assume they're going to make it a 9-9 scoreline. So I wonder how NIP will respond once we get to that position. Complete shutdown on that A-long position. The setup was there. I think the point person was maybe fighting on their own a little too long, maybe too deep an angle in the pit. They couldn't really stabilize as they might have liked to. Got the hand warmers out for the squad as well.
It is cold here, man. In the venue, like it is chilly, even with all the people and a little bit of indoor heating and whatever. Yeah.
Well, it's -6 outside.
Yeah, but that's outside.
Yeah, but you open the doors, it comes inside.
So is that how that works?
Pretty much.
I love that AIM is also performing. I mean, she's carrying the hopes and dreams of UKCS on her shoulders here.
Good shoulders.
Season 6. Yeah, strong shoulders,
Seems to be supercharged with a builder's breakfast, if you will.
The classic. Do you think she was the mastermind behind it?
Maybe. So yeah, this is a nothing round for NIP. And hey, nothing sometimes leads you to something, but most of the time it's nothing.
Very insightful.
So in this time, as a player, if you're standing somewhere like B in front of a smoke, never mind. Oh, with that smoke up, they can't really push. Trying to defend the rifle with the utility, but it will be rescued and given to Vilga.
That's amazing.
Oh, they've got a bomb there as well. the bomb's been dropped through the smoke. Not only is it the rifle, but it's also the bomb. So now Big are stuck, committed to this position. There's one more smoke as well in the hands of Kiara, so they're going to wait this one out. They maybe dropped that one a bit early, but better early than late. But once this one starts to dissipate, Kiara's going to come over and be like, yeah, we got one more smoke for you. And then how do you commit to retaking this? They've got one incendiary. They've got double HEs that they could throw on the stairs. This could be quite fun to watch, actually. I think get these HEs up before this smoke goes. Because they probably feel like they have to win the round here. Where do they plant the bomb? Assuming they don't frag everyone. Do they just continue over towards A? Everybody else is abandoned, so now we're going to have some fun. As the CTs come in from both directions, this could get really awkward indeed. 17 seconds, and the CTs are coming from the front and the back. The rifle's been dropped, but now Kiara's got some space to play with that smoke, but she'll be eliminated. What a nervous round for Big. They are surviving the test, but this really could have gone way worse for them. Credit to the squad for overcoming that and only losing one player.
Yeah, that was really well done. I think that there's also an element of antsiness from the NIP side. They know that they have that advantage. You don't want to make a mistake. You didn't really have much coming into this round, but if you can flip that on its head and you can regain that control, then it could completely change the rest of the map, particularly at this late stage. So, you know, small mistakes start to come through there, but like you said, credit to Big for bringing back the control themselves. Obviously, they had many advantages to play with, so they work with what they have, and it does pan out. Evened out scoreline now at last. Big having completely closed the gap. NIP with that little bit of cash to play with, but again, we're so close to that knife's edge. A misstep here could cost them the map, because already on round 19, there aren't that many opportunities for recovery.
Might see some warp versus warp action here. As we saw from Big on the CT side with 2 plays in that mid area. We'll see the same from NIP. Different approach from Big though. Again, there was pressure from NIP to try and eliminate players in mid and pull rotation. But what is the play here from Big? We've got 2 players committed to long A for NIP. Now Naomi will rotate over to defend with the B players as presence is shown on short. But are they taking the bait from that? They're a bit nervous, they're a bit antsy about it, but they've got great positions. That's a huge shot from Ramsey. Naomi comes through as well. And they didn't quite take the bait. They were a little bit nervous, but not too hot-footed. And they are able to stabilize with 4 players alive.
I think 4 players alive is really the key thing there. The fact that they managed to hold on to so much of that weaponry. I spoke about how the economy was kind of getting to that knife's edge and things were starting to look a little bit scary. It took a while. That's their first round in a minute. I almost said since the pistol, but that's not quite right. But it's been an uphill battle on this second half. So for them to regain that control certainly makes a huge difference here. I didn't love the position that AIM was playing, but she does make it work, and she's still good for 1. And of course, gives over a lot of information to the rest of the team who are able to crossfire with her and trade off. So it does work out really well.
Naomi dropping some extra util for her teammate on the B bomb site. Important details. You can see Ramsey playing that car position as well with the AWP, a classic spot. No flashes for her though, but often with a breach of long, your AWPer maybe flashing behind the players, defending a long. But they've got that crossfire set up a little differently this time. NIP are holding confidently for the time being. Vilga's been dropped though. That's the pick that's gonna gravitate many players over towards that A bomb site. Even the CTs as well. They're looking to abandon B entirely. Again, good angle for the AWP, but taking eyes away from long will cost them that AWPer. 3-on-3 now. Plenty of time for Big to stabilize. Heads have been spotted, and that is a big shot from Zana. All kinds of icons on that frag. 3-on-2 for Big as they plant the bomb. 1 on long, 1 on short for Ninjas in Pajamas. Both with kits, but they will need to deliver if they want to win this round. And now it's going to be a lot harder with Kiara, the last woman standing. 40 HP, 2 players to find. If there's anyone on the site, maybe there's a chance of the smoke, but no, Zana has the angles from that palm tree. And Big continue moving forward.
Round and round we go. Neither one of these teams really giving much of an inch, even the slightest opportunity for the other to regain that control. I don't know how this one's going to pan out. I feel like OT is on the table. You know what? I wouldn't hate it if this was our first OT of the tournament. I think that'd be pretty sick, especially for these two teams who are pretty hotly contested. Both of them kind of come in as I would say the kind of underdogs of the European region. When you consider that on the other side of the bracket, you have Na'Vi and Imperial. So I think that for these two teams, it's kind of the battle for second or third, fourth. I don't know. Maths is hard. Never do maths on stream. But it's an important one for both of them to win because it's not just about winning a game, but it's also about you kind of making your mark, especially for a team like NIP where 4 players have never played on
LAN.
Exactly.
A challenge towards long then. That's so brazen to swing on the doors with an MP9. You've got to really believe in yourself at that range. But hey, it was enough. So what now? What is Big's early goal here? Letty creeping out, looking for an opening. These CTs don't have great angles. Again, we know on the other side, Giuliano is playing deep in that CT spawn position. And a simple split like this was kind of what I was looking for. Maybe what Big were going for. So far, not so good for them. Naomi pulling out the grenades. That timing won't favor her, though. Her teammates falling back into the B-bomb site in case it is that split. And that split it will be. Shots towards the window. Nothing doing just yet. AIM needs help from the back, and she'll get that. But look at the pre-fire from Paulie. That's plenty to get rid of her on that B-bomb site. 3 on 3, actually, as Paulie's still alive with 4 HP. That is a beautiful timing from Kiara just before the smoke goes. This makes it that little bit harder. They can wait. Kiara's the one of the kit and she's on the side, but Giuliano has come to spoil the party. She's turned up the table and Paulie will finish off the job. That is a great lurk from Giuliano. Big impact frags to take the lead.
Yes, it really comes down to that recovery, right? Just being able to read the game. I feel like a lot of this comes down to Giuliano versus Vilga in terms of the brain power, the ability to make those quick decisions, to know exactly where you need to be, to read the flow of the game, and to move to just the right spot, to be where you need to be to make those magic moments happen. And we're seeing it on both sides, both of them really coming alive here so far. But in a round that looked like it would have been NIP's, Giuliano helps Big snatch that away from them. That's going to put them in the lead for the first time since the very first pistol round.
That is a huge play from Giuliano. That was such a clean frag, though, from Kiara. Evenly matched squads. But yeah, Giuliano just coming out from nowhere. Taking the CTs down for free. That was crushing for NIP. You could see it on their faces after the round. Now they're left with double FAMAS. The French guns are out for NIP. No warp for them either. Long will be denied then, early on. So short will be the approach. One must establish presence in that short position. Naomi by the mid doors this time. Big focus towards A from NIP, as we can see on the radar. Paulie's top mid, but doesn't have a flash to pop through these mid doors. So it may have to be a little drier if they do it, but they've got a stranglehold on that short position, do Big. And NIP are almost completely out of utility. It's just Vilga by those mid doors with a flash, which maybe could go behind her teammates' heads on the A bomb site if they are to mount a fight. 40 seconds remaining now. Paulie still lurking towards long. Letty lurking in mid as they have a 3-woman approach towards, say, bomb site. Does Ramsey get a flash from Vilga? Is she able to offer one? No, she's going for the flank instead. So it's going to be fragging out for the CTs if they can. And that's not going so well for them. One by one, they fall. Oh, but the bomb's falling into CT spawn, and they are stuck. They've got nowhere to go. 15 seconds on the clock, and they don't get that first kill big. They're going to have to commit to this together. I don't know if they realize that both players are here. Does Naomi just hide in plain sight? The transfer is not there. So close, and yet so far.
That's heartbreaking. If you didn't have both players there, there's a chance you can run that clock down. But there's so many big players left alive. They all just have to swing together, make sure that they're not lined up. And one of them is bound to clean up. It was so close. It felt like it was recoverable for NIP. But my hopes and dreams of an overtime slowly slipping away as Big now find themselves on match point. NIP need something huge to come through here. The buy is not great.
Wow, quad famas. Things are really rough. such little util as well. Like if they can find a way to get some nice pop flashes. It's so difficult though when the Teeth have a whole round to play in terms of the clock, to find the right timing with those flashes to try and find an advantage. Because a scenario like this, you've got to go and find that advantage. They're trying to do that on short at the moment. Maybe at a timing where they would expect a peak on short. But the T's are lurking their way to victory at the moment. I think they just went out long dry, and that was the right play. Maybe they heard enough footsteps elsewhere to realize what might be going on here. All of the rest of Big then. There's a few targets to collect, and Paulie is having a field day. 17 frags now for Paulie. Still shy of the 22 from Giuliano, though, who has been a monster. Surprise, Ramsey's on the side. He didn't check for her. She rings a bell of Jenny up, but doesn't finish off the job. And now Zana's in the clutch. 1 versus 2. Has the AWP, has angles to plant that bomb as well. Inviting the peek. Going for the quick scope. Nothing doing on this occasion. NIP are not done with this just yet.
That first frag from Vilga is so important because it gives them so much space to work with. And then the problem is Big get a little bit too eager and they chase her. And she's got a teammate waiting. So that gives them 2 kills for absolutely free. Now, fair enough, Paulie does a great job of trying to regain that control and bring the numbers to a more even kilter. But NIP just play that, can't even really call it a retake, the re-aggression in towards the A site really, really well. Now, once again, we are actually on the precipice of OT.
Big have to win this now. Their money is non-existent. They've got a combined $150 in the bank. If they lose this round, then, oh boy, that's going to be likely a difficult way to lose the whole game, especially after such a good half for them. Safety in numbers, they are out on long. They're not waiting around either. Normally people will take long and then they'll chill for a while, but Big have got no chill in round 24. Creeping through the smoke, Paulie's an absolute monster. Can they get the rest done on the site though? Because there are multiple CTs here and they are delivering the frags. Kiara is doing what needs to be done. Zana and Letty now remain versus 3. Now it's 2 as Naomi's finally been finished off. Kiara with 12 HP. And AIM is here as well. They're going to have to find a way to do this with no util. What remains of the NIP squad. That's a great shot from AIM. She's the higher health player. 2v1 onto Letty, but she manages to get the 1v1. Great burst to finish off.